various chiefs and seeing if there's a once upon a time to see if we could introduce that, but like the audio's not working. It is an interesting sort of spread of people who said it, because one of them is, I think, Naomi Wildman and Neelix, I don't know who's speaking, saying, once upon a time in the Forest of Forever, Flotter and Trevis encountered a strange element they'd never seen before.
Oh.
There's Dr. Mbenga.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Picard sitting in a suit holding a sphere.
Is he pondering his orb?
It does look like he's pondering his orb. And there's O'Brien in a sort of toga.
Toga.
So one of those has to be the bit that we've faded in on. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Joy of Trek.
I'm Kay.
I'm Kaki, and we're going to read you a story today.
I didn't know we did fade-ins for this.
Okay, well, it's been a while since we've recorded these.
Yes.
When I thought I had an idea for how to, this will be a good way to introduce it. Now, the only trick is going to be actually fucking remembering it.
Oh, yes, good point. I mean, like, in a perfect world, you would make notes about something like that. And yes, I know.
The skeptic's battle cry.
Very good point.
Let's find out what our chief has recommended to us. I know he told us about it last time, but, timey-wimey, we get a sort of lose track of that. What have we got?
We have another contribution from Archive of Our Own. It is called When on Risa by SeemaG. Rating is teen and up. No active warnings apply. Category female male. It's from Deep Space Nine, and it's about Jadzia, Dax, and Worf.
Oh, awesome.
Who are apparently going to Risa.
And the summary says, Worf and Dax discover one of the hidden delights of Risa, the famed relaxation planet that...
Yes.
Kay, in its many appearances, have you ever thought that Risa looked like a place that you wanted to visit?
No, not really.
Right? I'm the same thing. This is such a... it's the 40-something Californian white man's ideal, vacation, sort of...
It's like that party that gets invaded in Macrocosm.
Oh, yeah, with the Cabo slots.
Exactly. That kind of has the same feel as Risa. That's. I mean, Starbase 69 is all the way, man.
Yeah, you want some activities. You want a Camp Counselor will show you around. This is the butt stuff station for people who are into butt stuff. It's one of the many things that all species have in common. There's over-the-pants stuff and butt stuff. It's totally a thing. Enjoy!
So, notes from the author. During an offhand conversation, I made the mistake of mentioning that one does not go to Risa to play checkers. The point was brought into question, hence the story. Checkers rules courtesy of gamescolony.com. This one is for Rocky because it's all her fault.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Rocky.
So, this is going to be a thrilling checkers match on Risa, I guess?
No. I mean, okay, so placing it in the series, there is an unloved episode that probably someone has recommended, or if not, the opportunity is still there. We haven't recorded it yet, where Jadzia and Worf go to Risa, along with Julian, Bashir, and Lita, who have just broken up. And so Julian and Lita bang it out a whole bunch of times, because that's their tradition. Oh, and Quark's there as well.
Oh, I seem to recall,
riding Stag.
Yes, it's like you have like a breakup, a honeymoon or something.
Yeah, sort of. And Worf and Jadzia go some stuff. Jadzia meets an old flame.
One of her previous hosts had it out with that one, I guess.
Yes. Ironically, it was her previous host, and the woman's job is hostess and on Risa, and she literally Curzon to death, I think.
Oh, that's one. Yes, the one who Curzon
left her mark.
Right. Yes, that's. Oh, yes. During what's it called again? The whole thing on Risa, like when you put out the statue, there's like an Jamaharon. Yeah, that's when Curzon died. Yeah, he was Jamaharon to death.
It's not clear whether Jamaharon is just sex as we know it, or some
just one of those
new
things.
Form of doing it that requires it's a pretty big statue. In other cultures, you just hang a colored hanky out of your back pocket.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Happy Pride, everyone.
You seek Jamaharon, yes. Yes, we are recording this during Pride. It probably won't air during Pride, but...
Who knows? The temporal winds are chaotic. Chief probably knows. Hey, Chief!
On the night when the temporal winds of the Ethereum...
Oh, just as I summoned the Chief, you come in with a Treasure Planet reference. Oh, so good, so good. All right, shall we read the story?
Yes, let's.
Oh, that sounds really satisfying.
Jadzia Dax turned slowly from side to side in front of the full-length mirror. A playful smile spread across her face as she took in her appearance and decided that, yes, The silvery swimsuit with its iridescent, that's the word, violet wraparound skirt was extremely flattering. After 300 years or so of experience, Jadzia appreciated the fact that she could still turn heads. After 3 days on Risa, she knew she had caught the eye of many a person, male, female, hermaphrodite, androgynous, but truth be told, she only had eyes for one man.
Her vacation with Worf on Risa had not exactly started well. Worf had gotten himself involved with the Essentialist movement within a few hours of their arrival, and from there his mood had gone from bad to worse, causing Jadzia to question whether, 1, it was a good idea to go on vacation, and 2, whether she was making an enormous mistake by starting a relationship with Worf.
However, after their long conversation the previous night, Jadzia realized that Worf's fears were more about hurting her than anything else. These fears had manifested themselves into an almost obsessive need for control over both his life and the people in it. She had reassured him, and after the talk, Worf had broken away from the Essentialists, much to Jadzia's intense relief, and he had more than made up for his dismissal behavior of the previous 2 days in a strenuous and, quite frankly, creative way on the sands of Risa Beach.
Jamaharon 2, the sequel. Jadzia smiled as she recalled the energy, the innovation. She had not thought that Worf could be so skillful. And since they still had a few more days left on Risa, she wondered exactly how many other things Worf had to show her.
She heard Worf entering the room, and Jadzia turned around. "Good morning," she said. "Did you enjoy your morning workout?"
Worf's dark skin flushed. From the tone of her voice, it was obvious Jadzia was not referring to the calisthenics class he had signed up for every morning at 0800 hours. It was, Worf paused, invigorating.
"Invigorating?" Jadzia asked silkily, taking a step towards her Klingon lover. Arandis had given her a tip or two on how to sway her hips, how to put a little bounce in her walk, and Jadzia took full advantage of those lessons now. Worf's eyes widened as she approached, and at the last minute, he stepped aside.
"I have brought something," Worf announced uncomfortably. He held out a long, flat box to Jadzia. "I believe this will make our experience here on Risa more enjoyable."
It's a bedroom bat'leth.
Oh, no, Kate. Why do you do these things? Like, if it was a mechlef, I can understand it. It has a sturdy handle and 2 prongs. Lots of fun to be had. But a bat'leth is famously like a double-sided weapon.
Double-ended weapon for the bedroom, I guess. Anyway, Jadzia raised an eyebrow. Worf never ceased to surprise her.
It's got all these backwards sort of hooks, like even if it's all made of rubber.
Silicone, you know?
Yeah, I know silicone, but it's... And, oh my God, have you ever seen like the medieval versions of bat'leths?
Probably, but I don't...
Because, you know, the Klingons had a Middle Ages as well. They had even more rear-facing prongs.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's like make it even more dangerous for the wielder.
Yeah!
Anyway... Worf had never ceased to surprise her.
And the handles are in the middle as well, so it needs like a third part. You can't even reach them.
I don't know, man. I've seen some twings.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, yeah, that's... Yeah. Oh, accept it. Carry on.
Worf never ceased to surprise her, and she wondered what he had purchased. Was it the chocolate aphrodisiac she had been craving the other day? Or maybe it was that set of tiny electrodes that, when placed exactly right, produced...
Jadzia, Worf asked, his deep voice throaty and heavy with desire. Oh God, he sounds like Thorolf. Interrupted her thoughts. Open the box.
Jadzia nodded. As she pulled off the cover, she noticed many round plastic pieces in red and black. She fingered them lightly, wondering what exactly they were. Beneath the pieces was a flat piece of cardboard folded in half.
Open that, Worf said again, a rare note of impatience slipping into his voice. His lower lip quivered with excitement as he leaned forward. Jadzia inhaled, breathing in Worf's Klingon scent, mixed in sweat from the calisthenics class. Yes, she thought, this is going to be good, so good. Jadzia carefully unfolded the board.
"Ooh, what is it?" she asked curiously, taking in the alternate squares of red and black.
It's checkers, Worf said carefully. A game.
Checkers?
Yes. Worf took the box and headed to the table by the sliding glass doors. Their view showed couples walking by in various states of undress, and their limbs occasionally in positions Jadzia, in her vast experience, had never even contemplated. Worf sat down and indicated that Jadzia should sit opposite him.
You sure we should do this here? Jadzia asked uncertainly. She nodded towards the glass doors. Other people might be shameless exhibitionists, but that was the one thing Jadzia was not. Yes, a little kissing. Well, a lot of kissing.
Yeah.
Maybe some groping, but when it actually came down to doing it, she preferred to be out of sight, especially when they were trying something new.
Hell yeah. It's easier with the table.
I've heard that before. Jadzia arched an eyebrow, wondering at his last statement. All right then, since you picked this activity, she smiled coyly.
Worf spread the board on the table and quickly arranged the black and red pieces, with the red being on the end closest to Jadzia. Jadzia picked up one of the rounded pieces, turning it delicately over in her fingers. Other than some markings and indentations, the piece looked curiously, well, in a word, dull. For the life of her, and quite an extensive life it was, Jadzia could not figure out the aphrodisiac value of this particular game. Rysons, she knew, were not particularly subtle, and this game, well, it was non-intuitive. She only hoped that Worf had managed to get a copy of the rules prior to his purchase. And if this didn't work, Jadzia's lips turned up. There were always those electrodes.
Worf started reading from his pad. In the game of checkers, the player's objective is to remove all of his opponent's pieces from the board.
Oh, I think I can do that, Jadzia assured him. He continued reading, ignoring her comment.
There are two different kinds of pieces, he said. Man and king. The king obviously is larger and stronger than the man.
Obviously.
When a man reaches the edge, it becomes a king. To form a king, simply put one man on top of another, Worf said, his eyes glistening as he continued to skim the directions.
Now I like the sound of that, Jadzia said. Hell yeah! Jadzia got up from her chair and casually made her way behind Worf's chair. She draped her arm loosely over his shoulder and kissed the nape of his neck, breathing in his deep, musky scent.
When it's the other player's turn, Worf continued, he may either move forward a single piece or jump another piece, provided there is an empty square beyond. He demonstrated the move, his thick finger somehow taking a detour to stroke the length of Jadzia's thigh before returning to the board.
That sounds good, too. Jadzia nibbled a little on Worf's ear, wondering exactly what it would take to distract her lover from the rules of this game. She let her hand drop down to his thigh, drawing her fingers against the material of his pants. And tell me, how do we move?
Either diagonally.
Sounds intriguing.
Or back and forth. But only when two men are stacked on top of each other.
Wow. I was going to make the old joke like I've been to parties like that. I have not, in fact, been to parties where they hand you a pamphlet with the various sort of twisted rules.
Rules of checker, yes.
Yeah. But it does honestly sound like a good time. Jadzia licked her lips in anticipation as she listened to Worf's baritone. His voice occasionally rose, perhaps out of excitement, and sometimes it grew very soft. Whatever the case, Jadzia was absolutely enthralled, and she decided at that moment that Worf's voice was the sexiest thing about him. Well, one of the sexiest things, she amended. She planted another kiss on his cheek and returned to her seat.
Tell me more, she requested.
Worf looked up, and their eyes met. It is possible, he said, to experience a multiple jump.
Multiple jump? Jadzia inhaled.
Yes.
So, Jadzia said, this multiple jump, is it very rare?
Worf looked at her intensely. It depends on the player's skill. If done properly, it can be a pleasurable experience for both parties. Are you ready?
Yes.
Then you must make the first move.
Jadzia leaned forward enough so that the silver material of her swimsuit strained against her breast, revealing just a hint of cleavage at the edge of her suit.
Which then became wet.
Her hair brushed against the sides of her face, and she made sure that her fingers ran lightly across Worf's outstretched hand before making her first move. And she sat back with a self-satisfied grin.
Your turn, she said, as she positioned herself in her chair, one leg crossed over the other, revealing plenty of skin, including those spots which went quite high up the outside of her thigh.
Worf coughed and carefully shrugged out of his jacket. For some reason, he insisted on wearing his Starfleet uniform at all times, even when Jadzia suggested that perhaps less was more comfortable. Like Jadzia, he leaned a little further out onto the table than perhaps necessary. He grunted as he moved his black piece.
That was fast, Jadzia said quietly. She rubbed one foot against the bare skin between Worf's boots and the cuffs of his pants. But if I do this...
Worf exhaled. and as he watched Jadzia move another red piece.
That is a clever move, Worf admitted. But I shall move here. He moved his black piece, jumping Jadzia's red one, thus eliminating one of her pieces from the board. He sat back with a satisfied grin. Your turn.
Jadzia bit her lip and then looked out the window. A couple were. Gods, they weren't. She turned back to the game and made her next move decisively. Worf grunted in pleasure, and for the next 1 hour they played furiously, barely speaking. The room grew warm, and Worf shed his Starfleet turtleneck, and eventually those stifling black pants which he exchanged for the briefest of gold shorts.
Whoa!
One which displayed all of his assets quite admirably,
Yeah.
and the change in Attar also seemed to improve his concentration, while distracting Jadzia greatly.
Asymmetric warfare, well done.
However, Jadzia was not to be undone. She left her wrap on the floor after one particularly ingenious play, making sure to pass in relatively close proximity to Worf every few moves or so.
The first game went to Worf, but Jadzia, always competitive, was not to be defeated.
Another game, she said as she brushed her lips against his cheek. I love your technique, the way you move your king piece back and forth. Show me again just how you do that.
Worf nodded towards the window. An array of activities, some more erotic than others, were occurring at an alarming pace.
Would you not like to try something else? He asked huskily in that voice, which thrilled Jadzia to no end, and which also insinuated that he might be open to some of the activities she had proposed earlier in their vacation. Despite the hint delivered in that seductive, breathless voice, Jadzia shook her head as she settled back into her chair. She leaned forward, folding her hands on the table. Your move, she said firmly.
This is a good story. When Worf and Jadzia emerged from their room 2 days later in preparation for their departure from Risa, they met Julian Bashir, Quark, and Lita, the Dabo girl, in the hotel's reception area.
Well, there you are, Julian exclaimed. He grinned from ear to ear, his eyes lighting up. We haven't seen you in days.
We have been occupied, Worf said stiffly, as he handed over their bags to the concierge.
Yeah, I would say so, Quark said, licking his lips. This place is indescribable. The Umax is of such a high quality, but of course I don't have to tell you two that now, do I?
You are having so much fun with this guy. Jadzia and Worf glanced at each other.
Julian caught Jadzia's arm. Are you telling me that you didn't leave your room for 2 days straight?
Jadzia nodded. Well, not straight, but yes.
Julian's eyes widened. I'm impressed, really, but what, may I ask, was your secret?
Jadzia looked over at Worf, who was busy with the hotel clerks settling their bill. She leaned forward, a smile across her face.
Checkers, she said. She nodded towards the flat box which they hadn't dared to pack in with the rest of their belongings for fear something would happen to it. It's wonderful.
Checkers? Lita joined them. I've never heard of it.
Of all of the things Risa had to offer, this was the best, Jadzia told them. I can't even begin to describe how wonderful it is.
Julian looked contemplative as he considered Jadzia's word. Checkers?
Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Jadzia! Worf's voice rumbled through the reception area, and Jadzia grinned back at her lover before glancing at Julian. She recognized the warning tone when she heard it, and she knew that Worf would not care for her to reveal all their secrets to the Doctor. Still, she couldn't resist. Wonderful, she whispered to him. Next time you have a date, let me know. You can borrow it.
It was then that the little gold briefs fell out of Jadzia's carry-bag. Worf looked properly abashed, but Jadzia seemed to enjoy his discomfiture. That's not a word to come across a lot. Julian glanced at Lita and Quark as Jadzia quickly stuffed the swimsuit back into her bag. Both of them were very amused, but did a good job in hiding their obvious glee at viewing this particular item. Worf, in a huff, took off with the bags, leaving Jadzia to trail behind.
Did Worf? Julian's voice dropped off in surprise as Jadzia winked at him.
Like I said, she said, a teasing note in her voice. You won't be disappointed.
The end. Oh, very good job, SeemaG.
Oh, yes, that's a delightful story. I mean, I think that like leaving Jadzia to trill behind.
I get it. Okay, apologies to the author, by the way. I did do a little bit of editorializing here and there. For those of you who didn't get that, this was intended only as a sporting sort of reference to, on our very first episode that we recorded, Sub Rosa, we also did an impromptu reading of a very famous, and I think hopefully fake piece of writing by Sandra something. Chief, can you remember what the fuck that was?
That would be Rough and Ready by Sandra Hill.
Thank you. So anyway, but genuinely, this was a really lovely story. I love the imagery of the gold briefs is going to stick with me.
Yes, I can imagine, it's like, would this be standard Starfleet issue? Would they just be like command gold or...
Yeah, radiation proof.
So, what do we have?
Next time on an all-new episode of Star Trek.
So we've got a preview from the Chief. So next week we're going to do a new episode of Star Trek. Which one is that?
That would be Critical Care, Voyager 705.
Thank you. And then after that, we're doing a story which goes like this. A missing scene where the crew catch up for dinner at the captain's and discuss strange anomalies after the missing 5 hours.
Let's see. Catch up for dinner. So which franchise, which series do you think? It sounds like either a Strange New Worlds or a Enterprise kind of thing. Yeah.
Now, of course, for the listeners at home, this is really weird because they know exactly what's going to be the next episode. It's been announced.
Oh, yes.
Like, we're just the ones who are swirling through the time vortex and don't know these things. So that'll be interesting for us to find out.
Good point.
Maybe, Enterprise sounds like a... We'll find out. We'll find out when we get there.
We will.
So thank you for joining us. On the joy of Trek. Kay, are you okay over there?
I'm frantically pressing buttons trying to make things happen. Sorry.
I don't fully understand why. We don't seem to need them, I do. Oh, no, we do. Yeah, okay.
Actually, we don't really, because we've also got that one on the sound pad, yeah.
But hey, I appreciate your effort. And Kay?
Yes?
Please never mention the double-ended sex bat left again.
Very well, I promise.
I'm Kaki.
I'm Kay.
And we only have one more thing to do.
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Energize!
We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode with your friends Kay and Kaki, production and editing by Chief Engineer Greg, and music by Fox Amore. Join us next week for Critical Care, Voyager 705, followed by The Missing 5 Hours, the fanfiction reading. Visit joyoftrek.com/links to send us recommendations, support us on Patreon, or to find us on Blue Sky. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to The Joy of Trek, and we'll see you out there!